Hello, everybody. I'm Gregory Parks, and you are watching CONLink on CVG-TV. Our next guest comes to us from the CONvergence Board of Directors. He is the president of the Board of Directors, and he's the director of External Relations and Communications. Please welcome Jonathan Palmer. Hello, Jonathan. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you.
Hello, Gregory, and hello, CONvergence community. Great to be here with you.
So I like your layer you have behind you. It's nice to know that our CONvergence board members, or at least some of them, have their own layer, their own bat cave, as it were.
Most definitely. The fortress of solitude, if you will. Anything, the place that keeps the sanctum sanctorum, the place where you can be yourself and connect into all the geekery that you love.
And also get away when you need to. So speaking of get away,
Yes.
after a year hiatus due to the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have the return of CONvergence in 2021. The pandemic is still going on, but at current, it is at a manageable level that allows us to meet together in person again. So what is different about this year's CONvergence from how we've experienced it in the past?
Well, thank you, Gregory. It's going to be a unique year. It's going to be the stuff of legends. So we've got a number of things that we have had to change and modify in order to make it as safe as possible. People are hungry to be able to connect and hungry to be able to be in community again. But at the same time, we're all very cautious around making sure that we're being safe, we're protecting our community. We have a lot of members in our community that have vulnerabilities, immunodeficiencies, and that would be a terrible thing to impact. So you're looking at a different, we're calling it kind of a hybrid convention. And what it has is a number of elements that were different from what you'd see in a normal year. So first off, we capped the membership at 3,500 so that we can try and maintain some social distancing, keep from being too congested and too connected in with that. What you're also going to see is kind of three different ways to engage with the community. So there is the in-person live events that'll be happening at the Hyatt Regency, where we've been since 2019. Also, the Staycation option, which is a little bit of staying in the hotel, but thanks to CVG-TV, we're going to have some programming you can watch on the hotel TV. And then we also have a third option that you'll also be able to access in the Staycation model, which is the online content. So we're going to have some online content. So if you don't feel comfortable coming down to the convention, if you're not able to get into town, you're going to be able to check out some great things online and see what's going on in the convention, see some of the people, some of the friendly faces, some of the panels and the costumes that you're used to. And throughout all of this, we're doing a lot of modifications. We're doing some social distancing within the rooms, setting up stations for the sanitation and making sure that we've got a sanitizer and things like that so that people can access that. We're also requiring masks to be worn the entire time, and we're also requiring everybody to be fully vaccinated. And this is, again, to go ahead and make sure that we're keeping this as safe as possible. We're allowing people to feel comfortable and feel connected within their community.
Even though you are requiring vaccinations and masking, there are still plenty of opportunities where there are people to be disease vectors, as if anybody has seen The Strain or whatever their favorite dystopian outbreak-related movie is. It's like wherever you have people, you have disease vectors, and it does. And vaccination only kind of lessens the severity, but not necessarily. Yeah, it's not 100% a force field, as it were. Speaking of which, so the hybrid convention, I'd like to speak some more about those various elements. Like when you say staycation in the CONvergence context, what is the CONvergence staycation?
So the CONvergence Staycation came about as a way for people to, one, kind of just get away and take a break and have a little bit of the CONvergence flavor, but they might not feel comfortable being in the large crowds. They might not be fully vaccinated. And so what this is people coming to the hotel, getting a hotel room at the hotel, so you're getting the CONvergence rate. And then within that, if you could sign up for a staycation box. So we have a very special box that's going to have some activities, going to have some CONvergence swag. It's going to have some special little things in it that are going to make it really exciting to have. So something for the people that are staying there at the hotel who are doing the staycation model, there'll be a special extra treat that only the staycation people will get. So that allows people also then to watch on the closed circuit TV in the rooms, some of the programming from CVG-TV. They'll also be able to access online the content that's going to be online. So it's a lot of, hey, give yourself a break. You know, the world's been on fire for a year and a half. Maybe you need the time to get away, get out your house for a little bit, but you don't necessarily have to go into a big crowd. Come to the hotel, kick your feet up, have somebody, you know, taking care of what's going on for you, and then you get a little bit of a break and a little bit of CONvergence.
And this online content will require a membership, correct? Or will it be
no,
accessible
because
regardless
of
membership?
And so for this year, we're doing this, anybody can access it. We're making it so that you don't have to have a membership because of the special conditions. We're opening it up so you don't have to have a membership to access it. We're going to be using a special kind of software that puts it out to all of our channels. So you'll be able to go to our YouTube channel, you'll be able to check out Facebook, and there's multiple ways in which you're going to be able to engage online. Content will be piped out to all those different areas. So if you use Twitch, you're going to see it there. If you use YouTube, you'll see it there. So there's a number of different ways people can engage and check it out. But we really wanted to do our best to help people stay connected, stay engaged this year when it's a tough year with all the things going on.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's really great that CONvergence is doing that this year. That's a model that's been put in place over the last year of fire and plague from San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, Afropunk, all these other festivals, even E3, like over the past year and a half, that has allowed people who haven't otherwise been able to attend. And that's really great that CONvergence, people who are wanting to attend CONvergence but aren't quite so comfortable with being around people, or people that have been curious about CONvergence but haven't kind of wanted to go all the way and pay for that membership, this is a golden opportunity to check it out and be a part of it.
Yes, that is exactly right. You know, this is your chance to check it out, see what it's about, and you're seeing the convention. But there's a lot more that we're expanding a lot more of what we do during the year, so that people can see some of the other things. You're going to see more online content going forward throughout the year, just to see what's going on within our community, keep our community connected year round, give some opportunities for a few groups to spread their wings a little bit, do a little bit more online. The thing that's come out of this pandemic that has been good is the online engagement that people have been able to do, and so this is opening up a new way for our community to be connected and to see some fun things.
And it definitely it definitely opens up the accessibility as well. Do you think that some of these adaptations might be something that CONvergence would consider integrating in the future? For instance, like you said, the programming will be pushed to the YouTube and Twitch channels. Is that something that you might like to see continue in the future in some form or another?
Most definitely, and that's one of the things that we'll do after this year is look at what is feasible, but it just for the accessibility alone, that is something that makes it worthwhile to do this. So it's a great jump start into that world, and as we get into the fall and look at our planning for the coming year and throughout the year, we're going to be looking at how much of this we can do. I mean, again, CONvergence is an all-volunteer organization, and so people have jobs and lives and families. So we may not be able to do everything, but we want to do as much as we can. So as we go into the fall, we'll look at what that can look like going forward. What's the best use of the resources that we have to make it available as much as we can.
Excellent. Yeah, that's while this is a little bit more difficult, a little more trying time, it also has some potential for expansion and for things being even better. And incorporating and
Most
showing.
definitely, and that's part of what.
Yeah, and incorporating and showing, the what's said time and time again, that CONvergence is people. It's not a hotel. It's not just a weekend. CONvergence is people.
Most definitely, and that's part of what really is great about this. I've got some great friends, you, Gregory, and others who have just come out of being part of this community, and we connect online, we come to the convention, but we also see each other outside of this, and we share lives. So that's what makes CONvergence so great, is that it is a community more than anything else.
Now, another concern I know that people have, that some people might have, is the vaccination requirement, which is a point of contention for some people. Others, not so much. I mean, when you're going to grade school or elementary school, you need to have vaccination. You have to have proof of vaccination, and it is within rights to ask somebody, person to person, if you're vaccinated, or to have that requirement, because HIPAA is only between healthcare providers. So if we were asking people's doctors, that would be, the doctors couldn't say that, because that would be a violation of HIPAA. But if you asked me, then that isn't a violation, because we're person to person. I'm not your healthcare provider, you're not my healthcare provider. What would you like to say to people who might have a concern about that requirement, or about having that proof of vaccination? Do you need your physical card, or can you have a picture on your phone of your vaccination card, or how will that be? Which form? How do people need to be prepared to prove that they're vaccinated?
Certainly, it went a little. Okay. So one, first and foremost, let me say, whatever anybody's personal beliefs are, that's fine. But in order to be here in this space, we've got to look at what's the greatest good for the community. And the greatest good for our community is that everybody in attendance is fully vaccinated. The impact that just one person potentially could have, there's no guarantee. There's nothing to say that somebody unvaccinated would cause anything definitely, but there's a chance. And with people within our community who have vulnerabilities, who have immunodeficiencies, it can be deadly. And requiring people to be as safe as possible in order to protect even one member of our community from getting very sick or dying, that's worth it for us. There's not even a question. If it's a matter of protecting the lives of the people in our community, that is not too big a sacrifice for anybody to make. And if you feel that way, if you feel that it's too big, you don't have to come. You can participate in the Staycation, participate online. Whatever way you want to engage is fine. But for us to make sure we're as safe as possible, we're doing that. And this is guidance from the CDC. This is looking at what's going on right now with the Delta variants. So for us and the board's decision, this makes the most sense. I'm not even going to say we're sorry that if you don't agree with it. If you don't agree with it, that's your right. But we're not sorry. We think this is the best thing to make sure that every member of our community is safe, and we take that very seriously. In terms of providing proof, yet you don't have to have the physical card with you. You can have a picture on your phone of the card. Some people will have medical records. There are some people who got vaccinated before they were doing the cards, and so they can pull up their medical records on their phone. Things that are official records that show that you've been vaccinated, or the copy of that show that you've been vaccinated. You can't have a handwritten note from Bob Smith that says, "I swear Gregory got vaccinated." That's not going to cut it. And we're very fortunate. We're going to have some of the team from M Health Fairview who's going to come out and help us with that, with checking the vaccinations. Just like any con year, we'll be working right up to the moment that everything kicks off. Think of it just like when you're working on that costume, till 4 a.m. on Wednesday to Thursday morning. That's kind of what we're doing. So since there's a lot of different things going on, it's requiring us to pivot and move.
As conventions tend to go anyway, it's just like you said, if you're working on a costume, usually you're working up to the last minute on at least one of them. And again, with the vaccination requirement, it's about taking care of each other. It's about it's about us taking care of the convention, making sure that the convention can move forward another year after that, because it's mitigation of liability. It's showing the hotel that we, as not only attendees, but as convergence events, are taking care of things. So it is another way that we're taking care of each other, because convergence is people and not in the Soylent Green way. So.
And overall, we just want everybody to have fun. Come share in your community. Come help us make this a great event. Come and say hi to the people that you love and care about and haven't had a chance to get together with in over a year.
Beautiful. And it will be good to see people that we haven't been able to see in quite some time. So thank you, Jonathan. Thank you for spending time with us, talking about a lot of things in a little amount of time. And we look forward to seeing you at CONvergence. And thank you for joining us here at CVG-TV and ConLink. My name is Gregory Parks. See you later.